Hey guys and gals, so we're up to BH-8. Now, this map was not fun, and I'm fairly certain that I've done something horribly wrong in the process of doing this map. Nevertheless, this is the team I've gone in with. Courier and Scavenger, so two normal vanguards. I have Silence with her drone, just as an emergency type deal. I don't really need Silence. You could go with another decent single target healer. So, say Suzuro. But like I said, I'm just bringing it just in case, because the drone is helpful. One AoE healer, I'm bringing Perfumer for her map-wide heal. Liskarm, now look, I'm using skill 2. I probably don't need to use skill 2. Skill 1 is probably also fairly senseless, but nevertheless, it doesn't really matter. I tried to use skill 2 and she just wasn't getting hit enough to activate it, so it never really worked out the way I wanted it to. Lapland with skill 2, Armia with skill 2, Aobi with skill 2, Estesia with skill 2, you can bring Moose with skill 1, Blue Poison with skill 2, Utage with skill 2, and Thermite for that explosive goodness. I'm actually glad to be through this map, because, as I said, I feel like I've done something horribly wrong on this map. Anywho, we're going to deploy our vanguards in first. 1 and 2. And now we're going to start trying to get our deployment sorted out in the correct order, so our blocking units don't get locked up. So we're going to deploy blue here. And now I'm just waiting for this to go through. In the meantime, however, I will deploy... I'll deploy Silence first. And KOB. And once Courier's got this one down and his skill ticks over, we'll swap him out for Lapland. And from there, we're just going to finish our deployment off in the correct order so that we don't have any dramas. So Perfumer and then Armia. And last but not least, in the grand order of things, we're just going to plop our tank in just here. Now you can swap out Liskarm, you don't need Liskarm. You could use Quora, for example, who would do probably quite well with her skill 2. Just because it gives you a 4 block, and you'll have a couple of guys here that like to sneak through when these bullies are here. So that's definitely worth noting. Now, the easiest way to know when the last lap of this dozer is when he stops. When he stops, he's on his final lap and he's on his way out. So that's the easiest way to remember. So we're just going to wait now until he starts moving again up into Blue's area of attack. We're going to use Scavenger's skill and let him go straight through. Then when he's out of range of Scavenger, we're going to deploy Estesia. Now this is the part where I like to have this drone, is when the Rat King first comes out and when he's coming around down the bottom here, because he does tend to make a rather large mess of Armia, who's not in the healing range of anybody, because the Rat King's Cyclone is always going to be hitting blue, and his big cross skill is always going to be hitting Liskarm. So you see I've still saved Kirby's skill. So now with this bulldozer is where we're going to use Kirby's skill. We're going to wait until he gets all the way up into Liskarm. So right now, and then we're going to use Kirby's skill. We are saving Estesia's skill, because we're going to want to use it for all of this that's coming through at the moment. So, activate it when the first one gets into range, even if he's Cactus, because we want to make sure those targets are dead. So as you can see, Army is going down, so we're just going to pop the drone down in there. Use Blue's skill again. And now we're just cycling the drone, really. So every time we can, we're just going to plop that drone down to keep Armia topped up. Because the Rat King is just going to sit there. He's going to use his skills, and then he's going to attack Armia a couple of times, and then he'll go back to using his skills. So the ideal way about this is hopefully the drone will be back up before Armia is in any real risk of going down. That's the ideal. So this, what you see now, is the last of it. So we're just gonna KOB this. That's game, set, match. So Stesia out. I just lost Armia, but that's not a huge issue. The only issue is that leak, so make sure you don't pull KOB out until everything is down. Or until everything is being tanked, I should say. Estesia you want to get out as quickly as possible. Liskarm has to stay, and Silence has to stay. So that's it. Lapland's happy. We're pulling that out. We're going to pop in a drone. And now we're going to go 1 and 2. We're going to pull out Blue because we don't need Blue anymore. And now the ideal is going to be that we have Otage, sorry, tanking for as long as we can. Basically because Otage will just heal back all the damage that the Rat King does to her. If she goes down, it's not a huge issue. She probably will, as you can see, mine's slowly falling behind. Again, it's not an issue. So if you're worried about either of these two as well, we can just drop a drone in to top them up. But there goes the Rat King. And that's it. So the important thing to remember is really just making sure your deployment orders are in line. So that way, when the archers come in, the snipers come in, they're not stunning your tanks. Because if they stun your tanks, that's going to be the end of it for you. Other than that, guys, I hope that helps. If it did, please like, subscribe, and check out my Twitch channel. And stay tuned for the next one.